Testing, testing, one, two, three. Hello, time to shine here. This video is a comparison. What we have here, we have AOL tennis on the right, and we have World Tennis Tour on the left. AOL tennis is captured with or from a Xbox One. World Tennis Tour is captured on a PS4, from a PS4, sorry. So I'm going to compare the two games in terms of graphics, playability, and gameplay. So what I'm doing now, I'm just showing you the content. These players that I'm actually scrolling through are players that have been made from the community. So they were not actually in the game when I purchased it. Andre Agassi, Boris Becker, all these games are made by fans of the community. So online, and I downloaded them. So I'm going to use Andre Agassi, and I'm going to use a player I really like is Pat Cash, the old style of serve and volleyer against the hard-hitting baseliner from Las Vegas, Andre Agassi. Both games are good, but I prefer World Tennis Tour in terms of, I think World Tennis Tour is the more difficult of the game. I think the AOL tennis is more for the beginner and the novice, because he pretty much does everything for you in terms of the cursor and the serving, the ground strokes are done for you. So we're just getting in. This is the game that what you're seeing now. You're seeing World Tennis Tour. This is just me getting the settings, the power shot, and I just want you to see the controls, top spin, flat. So you can do both games. You've got top spin, flat, aggressive, flat. That means really to hit the ball hard. Wow, that's what am I talking about? That's AOL tennis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this exhibition match. Please welcome the players as they take to the court.
But sorry, both have been taken from a PS4. Because I've got both of these games. Well, I've got AOL tennis on Xbox One and PS4. So they're taken from both PS4 versions, but they play the same anyway, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference anyway in terms of Xbox One and PS4. And bear in mind, these videos are being made with a Apple iMovie, and Apple iMovie is not. I'm not really. I've just started using it, so I haven't really perfected it yet in terms of the titles and so on. I know I'm coming from Power Director to iMovie, and iMovie I'm very pleased with iMovie, but iMovie is it takes a little bit more effort to use. You really have to know what you're doing. So I'm not really happy with the animations in AOL tennis. I don't like the way, because if you look at when Agassi addresses the ball, he kind of slips into the shot. That makes no sense. Look at when he hits the ball, because it's all about your feet. Tennis is a game of feet, movement, and positioning. You have to get your feet in the right position and put your body through the shots. If you look at, I don't like the way he hits his forehand. It's not realistic. The graphics are good. I must say, this game is good, but it's just not it does not have the realism. Because what you've got to understand is I'm a tennis connoisseur, and when I say I'm a tennis connoisseur, I've been playing tennis games since the 90s. So I started playing. I think the first memorable game I can think of is Super Tennis on Super Nintendo. That was like 95 or 94. So I've been playing these games for decades. So this game is good, but for someone like myself, it's not realistic. Particularly the way the ball is. If you look at the way the ball floats, it just dips in front of you. It's not realistic. I don't like the flight of the ball. It's not. It doesn't. A ball doesn't. A real tennis ball does not behave like that. I think it's a very good. I think this game. They really need to release this game another version. They need to release an updated version because looking at this game, they're not an experienced developer of tennis games. I think this is their first one. So, and it shows because it takes tennis games are not easy to make. It might take you a few tries because if you look at Topspin, they made I think 3 editions of Topspin before they got it right. I mean, the first one was out on. I think the first Topspin game was released on the Xbox, the original Xbox in what 19? No, not 19. 2000, the early 2001, as far as I know. The early 2000s. So it's taken them 3 tries. So they made Topspin 2, then Topspin 3, then Topspin 4. So it's taken them 4 editions to get the controls down. The controls perfect. The developers of World Tennis Tour worked previously on Topspin 4. That's one of the reasons I love it so much because the control system is very, very similar to Topspin 4 in terms of the conditioning, the power, and also the weight of the. If you look, when you hit the ball, it's got that weighty feel, which AOL does not have. You've got that weighty feel of the ball. And also the ball movement I'm happy with. I like the way the ball moves. It's realistic because if you get behind the shot, you can get back anything, particularly. It's all about getting your player into position and then executing. Once you get your player into position, you're in a position to hit the ball through the ball back to your opponent or where you want to. The key to hitting winners in this game is getting your player into position, like getting him onto the right, then hitting the ball into the empty court, just like Topspin 4. Another criticism I can say is that the serving I think needs to be worked on. The serving is terrible. You don't really have control of the serve. You don't really have you can't really place the serve as well as it should be. Like you've got really a serve, you have left, right, or the middle, down the middle, and you can't really the accuracy of the serve is not great. The ground strokes are good. I think they've got the ground strokes down, but the serving they need to work on that. Just getting this because I'm really pleased with the ground strokes. They're excellent. I mean, look, and I am playing this game. This is not a demo. This is me. I'm controlling the chap in the yellow strip and the black stripe on the side. That's my player that I created called Becker. I mean, anyone who knows Becker, he's a former player. It's not real Becker, but it's just the name I've used. The feel and the weight of the shot I like. It's got that weighty feel. And the graphics I feel are better than AO Tennis. It's got better graphics. I mean, look at his material. Look at the cloth on his clothes. The creases in the back of the player's top. Oh, the tennis shoe.
Not the time for a double fault.
30-40.
I think this game is. I would say it's about 80% finished. They need to work on. I think they need to work on the serve a little bit. The serve needs to be improved, and they need to add some more animations in terms of the volleying. But the way he hits the ball, I'm very impressed with. Because look at the way it's more realistic. This game really, I would say, World Tennis Tour is really for the more experienced tennis player. I mean, console player. If you're like a novice, I would go with AO Tennis. That's because it does really everything for you. But this game, you have to do the work. You have to generate the power yourself. You have to do the timing. You have to do the positioning. But I want to show you how I work a point. You've got to work a point. In tennis, you have to work your point. You've got to outmaneuver your opponent, and then until you can get that onto your strength, and you've got to play to your opponent's weakness, because every player has a weakness. It might be his forehand, his backhand, his slice. But what I find is that if you throw in a drop shot, the player runs forward. You're able to sometimes get an error out of him. So that's a good strategy, and that's what you see in real tennis. If you put that, they throw in a drop shot, and the player has to run, and it can cause him to hit the ball out. Because you see there.
And it's deuce.
So to me, this game is not the same. This is not the same game as that was released in 2018 in May. It's not the same game. It's been improved considerably. They've really improved the mechanics of the game. I mean, there was a patch a few weeks ago.
Out.
You see why he hit the ball out. You see his feet. See the position of his feet. You see why I hit the ball. I hit the ball into the corner. Look at where his feet are. So you've always got to look at the players where the player's feet is to draw the error. Because with tennis, you have to have your feet have to be planted, because you're putting your body through the ball. So if you don't have your feet planted, the ball could fly anywhere. It's liable to go out. It's all about getting your weight behind into the ball when you hit it. So if you're moving and you're moving in a position, your weight is not planted, so the ball is liable to hit out. So if you look at where the player is. You see where his feet were. His feet weren't right. That's why he hit that ball out. And anyone who knows, if you play tennis, 'cause I used to play tennis, you understand how it works. It's about positioning, timing, and planting your feet, getting your feet right. That's why you say footwork. And it's about maneuvering. See that shot? Excellent. See, look at that. Now into the corner. Boom. So anyone who can tell me that this game is improved considerably from its release date. It's not garbage anymore. It's playable now. Because I never even used to play this. I started playing it. As soon as they started patching the game, I came back to it. And I've really been having a good time.
Well, I'm impressed.
It's a better game to me than AO tennis has more content. It's got more courts, it's more content, but this has got the mechanics of the game are better in a World Tennis Tour. There might be, because the people behind this game are experienced makers. They're behind the top spin. Not every single employee, but the top spin. Some of these the former employees of top spin are behind this game, and I know it because I know that the controls to me are like top spin. They're very similar. And tennis is about anticipation and positioning of the player. So you think where he's going to go, then you move there. Because I know he's going to hit into the open court. That's pretty much what you do. You're not going to hit to the court where the player is. You hit to the open court, and that's what he's doing. Look at that. Brilliant. You see? It's better than AL tennis. It's better. The ball mechanics are better, but you have to really have an understanding of what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to enjoy this game. He's cracking that ball. Look at that. Excellent. See, that's a top spin. See, look at the ball, where the ball, how the ball moves. It's top spin. See, top spin. Because top spin basically enables you to hit the ball harder, and it gives you more margin for error. Flats. When you're hitting the ball flat, you're hitting it with power.
What a return!
That enables you to get the most velocity on the ball when you hit the ball flat. See, he's hitting the ball flat now. He's not really using top spin. See, it's working.
He put everything he had into that forehand.
So I'm really enjoying the updates that they've done to the game. They've improved it considerably. Much more improved. He's very, very difficult to beat, this guy. But what you have to do is just wear him down. You see, look at that. Boom, into the open court. Boom. It's about timing. See? Maneuvering. Crack. Forehand. Good, see? He fooled me. I thought he was going to go into the open court. But anyway, this concludes my first part of this. I'm going to come back with more footage and analyze this game. Time to shine out.